A disclaimer before the video starts, I'm going to be closing the comment sections for any other further videos I'm going to be posting because I'm not sure about the YouTube hacker situation yet because I wasn't really too informed on it as of today. But apparently is a hacker going around post like commenting. I think I forgot what was his name though, but if I see it I don't know, but I forgot who it was. But for the sake of this video, I'm gonna be closing my comment section down, not because I'm getting any mean comments or anything, just for like the safety of you guys, so you guys don't get the accounts hacked. Because even though you have two two authentication type thingy that Google has, it's gonna apparently, according to some people, it surpassed that and got their accounts hacked. So for this video, I'm gonna be closing it just for pure safety as of today of May 30th on a Saturday of 2020. So once the situation's been resolved, I will return back to posting videos with the comment section on, but I think for the sake of your guys' safety, I'm gonna turn it off, and I'm gonna do a check through all my videos to make sure that this one person running around causing trouble didn't comment on my older videos, so I could prevent that from you guys. If you guys gonna watch it, don't interact with it, and I'm gonna close off the comments for it. Just nothing's wrong, but I just need to keep you guys safe. Alright, so either way, enjoy the video. Okay, so since I'm done with all my schoolwork, and I think it's time for me to upload a video, and I've been holding this one off for a while now, and this is a loadout video requested by a viewer from my last Blackhawk Rescue Mission video. And as you know, I've been busy with Insurgency Sandstorm. There is a new Nightfall update, which I should be playing right now, but I want to kind of get this over with, so I'm going to be doing this. And yeah, so he said he asked some questions, some loadouts that he wants to check out, but for this, I might make this a series, but yeah, but either way, let's get right to it. And keynote that you don't have to like copy every single one of these down. It's just like what I think that they should kind of look like. But I think a general idea of these loadout is that you should at least be based around, like, if you're playing as like a let's say like a Delta Force or like an American type soldier, you should be technically using like M4 weapon systems and like the weapons they use, and not just like an AK or a P90, because those are more for like other countries. So I think you should understand that. And also another thing you should know is that you shouldn't really be role playing, because this is just all about role playing. This is not like for multiplayer or anything. This is for role playing. And I would say the perfect the lowest requirement to start role playing would be 3 stars, because at least you have a helicopter you can fly around with if your teammates needs one, and that at this point you get to 3 stars, you should have enough money to buy some of this stuff. And these are pretty expensive, and you should know that it's gonna take a long time to farm these, because I've been playing this game since Operation Shadow Raid, and I have a lot of experience with it, and I put a lot of grinding time into this. So I highly suggest that you have a lot of cash banked up before you start going. So either way, let's start with the first two that I kind of like. Then they're also built for performance, even though I said it's for role playing, but these are built for performance as well. Because until Blackhawk Rescue Mission adds like nameplates and name tags you can add, in descriptions, it won't be happening anytime soon, because I did kind of like that in Operation Shadow Raid. But let's get to it. The first loadout we're gonna start with is an Escape from Tarkov, for anyone who plays any realistic games who know Escape from Tarkov. And I have 2 Escape from Tarkov loadouts that I've personally chosen, just because I've been watching a lot of Escape from Tarkov, of Pestilly, Shroud, and all those streamers, and yeah, I've been enjoying watching them, and I'm kind of feeling encouraged to do something similar to it. And these aren't exactly, I made these as close as possible to the Escape from Tarkov looks to it, and and I'm sticking to a few source materials like the Raid series on from Battlestate Gaming's on the Escape from Tarkov, and just items you can get in the game. So, let's start with the first faction of the Escape from Tarkov series, the Russian Bear faction, which is a Russian PMC set up by the Russian Secret Service. I forgot what was. I think it was like the FSB that helped set it up, and this is kind of why I look for it. So I'll start with cosmetics first and head towards weapons. So cosmetically for the hats, I chose the cap because in the game you can choose helmets, but I think I'm gonna go for more of a roleplay cosmetic look, since really helmets and vests don't really protect you. I don't think they don't really do anything. So we're just gonna use that to my advantage and use these cosmetics to make it look cool. And I'm using a raid type thing to get the look of the character. So obviously, for now you can change your face however you want, but I think specifically for Escape from Tarkov it should be this face, because in the game, like, they're not really like happy and they're kind of like more serious. So that's just why I'm going for this look, the unimpressed and sad mouth look. And skin wise it should be white, and I'm not being racist, that's just how that's what it's terms called. And there is really no bald option, because theoretically in the game your character is technically bald, but for now just stick with the shirt cut just for consistency look. But otherwise, get back to the hats. So obviously I chose the cap. The color is black because I think the bear caused like the what bears look, I think according to some of the stuff I saw, is just black. And since sadly there is no bear like logo like on top of this hat, so just gotta pretend it's there. And for this one I chose contacts, but I was really wanting to go for Swordens, but the problem with Swordens is that this like headset is going through the hat and it just kind of ruins the immersion. So just for now I think you can stick with contacts. And no facial, because technically you can, but I think the facial is more towards the like the balaclavas in the ski masks. I think they're more towards the USec type characters, as in the raid series I don't really see the bear that's shown in there wearing balaclavas. They're mostly just wearing like eye protections and goggles, and so we're gonna be rocking with that. So that covers the hat. For Vez, this is kind of the loadout. This is kind of the Vez loadout I chose the Raycon Tactical 10M Vez. When this is kind of the loadout I chose for it, the setup, because I chose the close mag just because in the game you're using a bunch of type of guns and AKs and like there's different mags, and like, so I think to help balance that out I'm just going to do it for the close mag. So technically you can pretend, quote unquote, end quote, to using like, if you're going to use an M4 you can just pretend it's like an M4. If you're using an MP5 you can pretend it's an MP5. So I hope you guys get that. And I just chose storage pouches for the two sides and the backpack, because, and yeah, that's kind of what I did for these right here and the back. For the top part I added no patches because this is a PMC bear, so technically they don't really have any like Russian patches. They're just PMC, so I'm not gonna add anything that symbolizes, if anything. And I'll add the pistol mag because I don't think the PMCs would add like their blood types. It wouldn't really from the looks of it I didn't really see it in the raid series, so I'm gonna rock with that. And backpack I chose the Rebro black because bears are black. Well, technically that's kind of what their outfits are. They're all black. You understand what I mean when I get to the USec. And holster, I don't really explain, it's just black. There's not much customizations. Uniform wise, I chose the black PMC. I didn't really choose these other ones because this is technically the closest one to the starting uniform that you start with when you play as it, when you choose like your factions, when you use Sec and Bear when you start the game up after like the wipe or something. This is technically the closest you're gonna get to that look. It might not look exactly like it, but it's close enough, and I think I call that good enough from look. And theoretically this watch should be on the left side. but just deal with it. This is as close as I'm gonna get. All right, guys, you gotta cut me some slack here for the bear and USec look. So this is what it looks like. So now we're gonna get to the weapons. These weapons are built for performance. So obviously, role-playing wise, I suggest a 103 because of the black metal, like clean look. Because in the raid series, they're all using like very like modern AK systems, and theoretically, the AK-74 is mostly used by the Russian army in the world of Tarkov and scavs or scavengers for anyone who doesn't know the game. And obviously, you can use the AS Valve too, but I don't have enough money for it, so AS Valve is up there if you want to play as a bear with an AS Valve. You can do it, but I just don't have the money to do it, but it's possible. But for the AK-103 is technically a, if I'm correct, I think it's the modernized AKM of that fires a 7.62 by 39 millimeter rounds, and since you can't customize rounds in this game, it's just just this. But since this is built for performance wise and RP wise as well, because this is why I like this gun, so let's start with back here and work our way up. So for stock wise, I chose the folding stock. The fixed stock I don't think really looks too good, so I chose the more modern folding stock or extendable stock, your choice. But I like the folding stock, it just looks more cooler. And trigger wise, you can't customize that, it's just auto and semi. No camo, because camos don't, like, in reality, camo don't really look too good. I don't really like these camo, so normally the regular camo looks good enough. And it goes well with the optics and stuff. And for the sights, since this is performance wise, this is going to be using the ACOG. You can use the Cobra, Ecotech, EOTech, and the Red Dot, but I highly suggest the ACOG if you're just trying to like do like a RP plus like trying to make some money type deal. Because for any experienced player, they should know that the ACOG is technically, I would recommend, the best sight in the game if you're like performance wise, if you're gonna like fight against enemy AI, because most engagements you're gonna be in Blackhawk Rescue Mission is going to be either like medium or long range, and ACOG just helps that a lot. And also it works pretty good for close quarters too. Its magnification isn't that bad, so you can definitely, it's viable in close quarters too. Even though it's like zoom up really high, you'll get used to it for anyone who's not too experienced with it, but it's a good sight, I can say at the least. And also because I like the look of it on the AK-103. Then moving on over for the mag, I chose the 50 round mag. You could go for the 75 since the drum mag is an Escape from Tarkov. I don't think it's like in 75 rounds though, and I don't think there is a 100 in the game. So I chose the 50 round. You can go for the 30 round if you like want to save your mobility stats, but I like the 50 round just because it looks cool, and also because the extra 20 rounds can actually definitely help with especially with the AK-103, because this thing fires fast. I'm telling you guys, this thing fires fast, and you'll burn through a lot of ammo if you're in a huge firefight by yourself. And for grips, obviously the vertical grip, because these have penalties when you try to use it. So vertical grip, and also because vertical grip looks cooler out of the way. And for sight wise, I was on the debate between the laser red sight or the flashlight, because theoretically this loadout, this bear and USec loadouts don't have NVGs, so they're not really going to be too viable in night fights. You can still use it, but like laser sights, I kind of really see only really useful if you're going to be going NVGs. But if you want the cosmetic look and you want to like help with that, like you just want to like spray and pray from the hip, you can without aiming down sights. And obviously you can run the laser sight red, but if I was doing this, I would run with the flashlight. But I'm just keeping this on just for cosmetics wise. Barrel wise, I'm going for the short barrel because really the penalty is only just a little bit, it's not too much, and also because it changes the look a little bit, because I like I just like this muzzle brake look. Muzzle wise, no silencers. You can add some if you want, but I don't really want to do that because I think the gun looks cool already from the looks of it. So that covers the primary. For the secondary, I'm just going for the Glock, because the Glock is in the game, and until Platinum 5 adds the MP443 Grotch, which is a gun from Escape from Tarkov, you can update this loadout if they do add that gun, add the Grotch into the game. You can you replace it with the Glock. But for now, I'm been using the Glock, even though in the game it's a Glock 17 or Glock 18. I don't remember, so I don't remember what Glock model it was in Escape from Tarkov. But if you want to get as close as possible, you can just use a Glock 22. You can use the Makarov too, since that is also in the game. But in reality, this is like a modern world, so I don't think really a bear would be using a Makarov unless it's like the Russian army. I added a flashlight because you can add it and doesn't no penalty, and because it can help in certain situations. And I added a 20-round mag because it helps. And no silencers because the main gun is, and this isn't really a silent class type thing. So yeah, that kind of covers this loadout. If you're trying to roleplay as like a Russian type PMC, or you just want to like, you're just like trying to roleplay as like a PMC, like you're on a debate, you want to be like an American or like a Russian PMC, then obviously I would suggest the this bear loadout because it looks cool. I like the look of it. I play this a lot because I'm trying out the new AK-103, and since this is a new gun, and I think you guys should probably try to farm for it. And yeah, I mean, this looks cool either way. I like it, and this is definitely the one of the good PMC looks. If you're gonna go for like more realistic type PMC look, because this is more casual. So with that said, you can replace the helmet if you want, but I'm just not gonna do it because in the world of Escape from Tarkov, you can add helmets, but I think in this world it doesn't help. It doesn't protect your head, so we're just gonna go with it. So that covers the bear loadout. We're gonna move on to the USec. Now for the USec loadout, oh, I forgot to add a few. I forgot to add the top, guys. My bad. So let me add these really quick, and now I'll explain later. I was making these in a rush, so. Okay. So like I said, for the USec, it is kind of the same, but I'm gonna go off of the since the USec is more of like a Western powers or like a more West type PMC group that is in the world of Tarkov, and then the USec and Bear, they fight each other because they don't like each other, and because USec is supporting the scandal with Terror Group Labs. So yeah, this is technically the way I think I would imagine a USec with the tan look. So let's start with the helmet. Same thing with the this is technically the hat is still technically the same thing, except for the changes of the tan, the cap with the tan and contacts, because it doesn't have that glitchy sword look. And next, I added the ski mask tan because this is because I think it just looks cooler. You can replace this with the black because in the game they mostly just wear like ghost or black, and this doesn't really look too good. The scarf skull, I don't really like it. A lot of people rock it, but I don't like it. It doesn't look too good to me. So if you want to rock black, you can, but I like tan. But I think just to satisfy for you people who like going dark and stuff, I think we're gonna go with black. And I looked at the at some stuff, and for like USec look wear, I'm gonna go with the eye protection and no goggles, just because I think the eye protection kind of breaks the trope of people in this game always going for goggles and gas mask. And so we're gonna go with the eye protection because I think the eye protection looks good with this either way. So that covers the hat. Onto the vest. It's technically the same loadout. It's the same vest loadout, but this time I'm using the Apex Precision CQB vest, and it's technically the same thing. I forgot to mention for the bear, I added a drop pouch for these two because in the world of Escape from Tarkov, you gotta hoard as much items as you can. So which is why I added a drop thingy. And same thing for this one, the Rebro tan backpack this time. And that kind of covers for Vez. It's nothing to explain. It's the same thing as the bear, but if some minor changes with camo and other stuff, but that's kind of it. Uniform wise, it was pretty hard to try to find like a good USec uniform, since they're mostly like they're mostly like Delta Force, like SEAL Team 9 type color, but problem with these is that they have like the American logo on it, and this one has like the Delta Force logo on it, which I don't like. The Delta Force would have been perfect for this if it wouldn't have this logo. But sadly, it does, and it just doesn't work. So the closest thing I can come to is that in the game there is a cosmetic look for your shirt and pants that looks very similar to the Israeli Defense Force uniform, and it's as close as I'm gonna get to it. And yeah, you guys gotta throw me some slack here, all right? Yeah, this is as close as I'm gonna get. I can't really do too much with the trying to get like a more camouflage type look, or like, but this is just how it's gonna work, guys. I can't until like they add like a tan colored, multicolored uniform that is not, doesn't have any logos or insignias on it. For now, the Israeli Defense Force would have to do. It's the closest to the Escape from Tarkov. One of the cosmetics in the game for the shirt and pants. It's as close as I'm gonna get. So, yep, that goes for the uniforms. For holsters, it is tan. Don't need to explain that too much. So let's move on to the weapons. So for weapon rise, I chose the M4. Because really, like, the M4 is really the only gun I really see the USec really use. This is their main primary weapon. I think USec also uses the P90 too, and you could in the MP5. Well, technically the MP5 is more for the UNTAR faction in the game, but I think they USec do use P90s. I think so. You can replace this with the P90. There's no real like shotguns here. You can use the M24 if you want, but I think I'm gonna represent, since Nikita, who is the who owns Escape from Tarkov, he is adding a skill tree for like for skills, for specific skills, special skills for Bear and USec, and one of them is for USec is like AR like weapon system mastery or whatever, and like customization for like weapon customization. So I think to represent that, I'm gonna go with the M4. And so let's start from back here, and then use the Magpo Mo, because I think this is in the game in Escape from Tarkov, so which is why I'm using this one. You can use any one you like, but I'm just gonna go with the Magpo because it's in the game and it looks cool. And same thing for camo, no camouflage. And we're gonna go full out as a semi, because in the game there's really no M4 that's like in semi. That's really in burst from my knowledge to it, but yeah. Performance wise, it's going to be using the ACOG, like the AK, and for the mag, if you want like cosmetic look and RP look, you can use the P mag, 30 round mag, because the plastic mag is in the Escape from Tarkov, and if you want your USec to look cool, you can, but if you want performance wise, I suggest the 50 round Stenag mag, because, well, as I said, for the AK-103, the extra 20 bullets does help, especially for it helps for a gun like the M4, because it doesn't kick that much of a punch. So, because for the head, torso, it doesn't do too much damage, but it can definitely help. But for you want cosmetic look, just go for the PMAG, and I'm gonna ignore tracers because I don't think tracers is gonna help too much, and I don't really like the uses of tracers just because I don't know, I'm just not too big a fan of tracers. But I don't know, I might include a loadout in the future and I might use tracers, but so let's move on. For the barrel, I chose the 14.5 instead of, you can choose either one, any barrel length you want for your guys' preference, but I just go with the 14.5 because it looks more closer to like a M4 that we would imagine. So moving on, we're gonna move to the rail. The rail is using the flashlight, same explanation with the AK-103 because this loadout doesn't have NVGs. So flashlight can help if you're trying to look for something. So yep, handguard, I'm using the Tri-Arms Drop-In, And the reason I'm not using this one because I think I'm gonna show the customization of the USec. So, and also because I think the tri-arms does look pretty cool and it doesn't have this annoying front sight up here with the rail drop-in compared to the tri-arms drop-in, which is I'd say an upgrade from it because it doesn't have the front sight, so you can aim much easier with the ACOG. Out of the way, we're moving on to the grip. I chose the vertical grip. Yeah, like I said, you can choose any one, but since this is part performance-wise, vertical grip I would recommend because it helps with the ergonomics and recoil, guys. That's just nothing to explain. And same thing for the AK-103. You can add a silencer, suppressor, silencer if you want. So that covers the primary. Move on to the Glock. It's practically the same thing, by the way, because they don't really have anything in the game for Escape from Tarkov. So the really only closest thing from it is the Glock 22 or Makarov. But since this is USec, and I don't think they would be using that Makarov for this soldiers, so you're gonna go with the Glock, like I said, for my bear. So yeah, that kind of covers the USec. So these two loadouts are great for like PMC, if you're trying to like a roleplay that can PMC with like a group of people or friends, or you want to just do like a Escape from Tarkov type role playing. If you guys are Escape from Tarkov fans, you guys can have your buddies dress up like this or similarly like this with their own loadout guns. It's just the guns I choose you don't really have to take serious, as long as it's like the gun that's like makes sense to the lore or like game, and I'm fine with it, then it's fine. So with that out of the way, these two are great for PMC, and they're great for if you're trying to farm too, because you know if you're like a 3-star or 4-star and trying to get that next star, or you're just trying to get some cash, these loadouts would also be good for that performance type run, because these do well. I have tested them out. These do well against the AI, as long as you can make headshots and you know how to conserve ammo. So next up is a suggestion from one of the suggestions from one of my commenters. So which is he wanted an idea for like a Russian scout or something. You know, this is my idea. You know, have to copy everything, but this is the way I think of a Russian scout if I was to create it my own. So start cosmetic wise, we're gonna go for the helmet. There is no LSHT helmet, which is the Russian version of like the MIC helmet, I think. I don't remember, or the exfil helmet, but I think the LSZHDT, I forgot what it was called, but I think that's what it's called. Helmet is like the Russian version, and it's green. But sadly, in the game, the only helmet that has the green is the exfil. So this one, I gotta make it work with what I have. So with that out of the way, I got to add a flashlight too, and so it's just gotta make it work. And so moving on. Whew, I need to take a breather. So for earmuffs, I choose contacts. You can use sword guns if you want, but since this is technically a scout, I think contacts with the mouthpiece, with communicating with your teammates would make sense, because it's reporting back to base, any movement and stuff. So I think contacts would make sense. Sword guns, you can use sword guns if you want to. Facial wise, there's no really. I chose the black because the Russians, they rock with black. For no goggles for this one, because I'm going for a Russian look. I don't think they would really be wearing goggles for this one. I just don't think so. And also, I want to break away from mostly people using these, giving people leeway that not all appearances need to have goggles to look good. Like this already looks good without the goggles, especially with the uniform I chose for it. That covers the helmet. And obviously you can add a flashlight to every one of them. They're barely noticeable, and it helps if you're trying to look for stuff. Move on from the vest, Apex position. I'm using the TCV because it looks lightweight. It's not as cumbersome as the CQB or the 10M or the Eximus. You could go one step further and add a TacTech 511 if you want, but I think I like the TCT see the TCV Vez better because it makes it, I think it just looks cooler with the scout role I'm gonna go for. And so let's get on for the mags. So I choose 2 closed mags because you are using a AK-74U, which I will go into depth on why I'm using the closed mag, and I'm not using like a 7.62 or 5.56, but you know, it's a different type of mag, so a closed mag is good for that, so you don't cringe people out. And I chose a storage pouch and no pouches on these sides because I don't think it looks good with it. So, because I think these straps do complete the look a little bit more, so that's why I'm not putting anything right there. I should have added a drop patch, but that's mostly by personal preference. So moving on to the top, I added 2 pistol mags. You can replace this one with a grenade pouch if you want, or you can replace this one with a grenade pouch. I won't really recommend adding like a positive type thing because this is like a Russian. Since the VDV is like a type of special forces and the Spetsnaz, if I'm correct. I forgot. I think it's like the airborne Spetsnaz. I forgot what the VDV is. And correct me in the comments about the VDV. But I won't be adding that. And to make sure that you're like, if you're trying to go for like a Russian look, I think it's important that you add the patch so people know. So obviously the Russian patch, which is what I recommend, so people know that you're role playing as a Russian soldier. So, and also because I also added the black backpack because as a scout, because I think the reason I added the backpack because it looks weird without it. Like it looks a little bare bones, and also because I think the VDV is like a paratrooper type unit in this Spetsnaz, so which is why I'm adding that. Survival and all that stuff. So next we're going to the uniforms. For this one, like I said, I choose the Russian VDV uniform. I'm not going for the FSB because the FSB is this secret service and it's something different. If we're going for like a Russian scout, I would suggest like a VDV uniform. And that's just my reasoning for it. And also because I think the forest look works well if you're like trying to do like you're trying to find like the forest regions of in the map, so it would work well and it'll look cool when you're fighting in it. Holster is black and there's no really green color, which is what I kind of wanted. Which is also, I should have mentioned that I did camouflage the green Vez green because it's a Russian type loadout, so it has to be green. So with that out of the way, holster is black. So let's get on with the gun. And keynote, I would prefer the AK-74U to be classified as an assault rifle. And before you guys start commenting down in the comments of why, you guys have your reasons for it because I did grow up with it too in Call of Duty. But theoretically, according to the AK guy on YouTube, which I do watch him, he did a critique on because he's really good with AK guns like in real life, and he creates them for a living, and like he reviews them. And I think according to him, the AK-74U is technically an assault rifle because it's still chambered in 5.45 in the 5.45 round, which is the same round as the AK-74. So theoretically, this is an assault rifle, not an SMG. I think the reason why they makes concession because it's small, because technically an SMG is something that fires on pistol rounds, like the MP5 is an SMG. The P90 is more like a PDW, but it can be classified as an SMG if you want. And the UMP45 is firing pistol rounds, so there's just a 45 ACP. But the AK-74 would technically be an assault rifle. Theoretically, I think. You can fact check me on that with the AK guy, but that's just what I think that it should be classified, which is why I chose the closed mags for it. So with that, let's go into stock. I'm gonna stick to the folding stock just because this is a type airborne. I think, like I said, the VDV I think is like a paratrooper type airborne type Spetsnaz group, so I think the folding stock would be good so you can compact it and just jump out, because it's smaller. Trigger wise, auto semi, and no camouflage. And since it's more for cosmetic look, and the reason why I chose the Cobra, but I would highly suggest using the ACOG for any of these. But if you're going for like a roleplay stance, go for the Cobra, just because it's a Russian type site, and because I think it's very fitting for what if you guys are trying to go for like a Russian scout. So which is why I chose the Cobra site. And you guys don't know how to attach sides, so for anyone who's new, there's a rail mount you gotta buy to attach sides for anyone who doesn't know. And for this one, I'm choosing the 30 round mags because it's, like I said, paratrooper. There won't be any reason for them to be carrying like a drum mag or a big 50 round banana clip round mag. So 30 round mag, just for cosmetic wise and role playing wise. And this one I chose since there is no B11 like rail mount for the AK-74U at this moment, the closest thing we're gonna get is the carved grip. So like until they added the B11 rail mount, you guys gotta work with the carved mount, which is the closest thing I can get. And also because it doesn't I mean it's more for the cosmetic tactical look, but you're gonna take a small hit to ergonomics. So since this is a scout, was on the debate if I want this to be like a quiet scout or like a battlefield scout. So I'm going for the silent scout, and I don't have the PBS4 silencer, and I would suggest you guys get this one because this is a special silencer or suppressor for the Russian weapon system. So, but the closest thing I can get is the Chimera 300. So, suggest to use the PBS4, but I just don't have the money to farm it right now. So, yeah. Moving on, we move on to the secondary, and there's no garage, and if you got, and I think that you guys want more of a role-playing type thing. I'm gonna go for the Makarov. I have not used the Makarov myself, so I don't really know how good it is. But since I'm using the Makarov, since this is like a more paratrooper type look, there's really no camouflage or tracer. I'm not going for the 12 round mags, just because I think it looks cool the way it looks like that. And to add a suppressor to the Makarov, you're going to need to buy a barrel adapter, which is $100. Quite cheap, but you just make sure you have like $100 that you're going to try to put a suppressor on it. And I would suggest putting on the Gemtech Viper, just because if you're going for like that roleplay look, you can. But the problem with the Gemtech is that on some pistols it would obscure your iron sights, and you won't be able to aim properly compared to the Osprey 45, which is like more like down low, and it's easier for you to aim. But for cosmetic wise and for role playing wise, Gemtech Viper would work pretty well. So that covers it for the Russian Scout. So I hope this, and this is more if you're going to like go for like a Russian type role playing, or if you just want to like role play with a bunch of random people and you just want to make yourself look unique and not just follow like the American or PMC type look, then the Russian Scout would do very well too, I would say, if you want to try to do stuff like that. And I added no NVGs because I think that NVGs is more optional for this one, but I think I like it without the NVGs. So that covers for the Russian Scout. Moving on to another one that I want, since I don't want it to just be PMC, Russian, and just Russian, and I just want to break it up and add some Western type stuff. So I added an SAS CQB loadout that I would suggest for anyone who wants to try this out. So moving on to the SAS CQB, we're gonna start with the helmet. And for this helmet, I chose the X-Fill because it looks cool. You could go for the MIC or a Fast SF, but I think the X-Fill looks cooler. And I forgot to add NVGs to this one, because this one does use NVGs to complete the look. And this is like more of a silent type thing, because you know it's an SAS, and also people want to roleplay as an SAS. And if you guys want to do it, this is my suggestion. For this one, I chose the Swordens because I think having a mouthpiece, I think it just doesn't look too good with it. It's just the way I think. So Swordens would work. And obviously, since we're going for like a sneaky type thing, ski mask is black, and I'm obviously going to add black goggles just because it looks cool with the character you're trying to create. And for this one, I'm using the Apex Precision CQB because it has CQB in it, and also because I think it looks good. So for these, I added, since it is a CQB, I'm going off the idea if you're in a close quarter environment, you want to have easy access to your mags. So that's why I put it on the left side, because I think your character in this game reloads with your left hand, like they pull out the mag like from your left hand. So obviously it would be easier if they had it on the left side to pull it so they can reload. So I put 3 close mags right here because you'll see why in a bit. And I added 2 storage pouches right here and a pistol mag on top. And to complete this look, because this is using the Singapore SOF, which is a Chinese Special Forces type uniform, and because this uniform doesn't really have any logos or insignias, this is why this uniform is perfect if you're trying to go for like a tactical type look. Then technically, to differentiate yourself, to make yourself look like an SAS, I was just suggesting adding a UK patch, so they know you're trying to roleplay as a British SAS member. And since this is an SAS, in Western type thing, you can add like blood types. Just for this, add O positive. You can choose any blood types you want. If you don't, you can go for the pistol mag if you want. But I think the blood thing will look cool. No backpack because you're going close quarters, and I think this looks good without the backpack. Moving on to the uniform, like I said, it's on the Singapore Special Operations Forces, or SOF. And this is this is a Chinese Special Forces uniform, but it doesn't have any insignias, which is why I chose it, because I don't think the UK doesn't really have good dark uniforms, like if they had like a long sleeve version of the starting Special Air Service uniform, then obviously I wouldn't use that one, but for now, I'm using the Singapore SOF, and you could use the Special Reconnaissance Regiment since that also works well with this one too. But I think the Singapore SOF looks, you're trying to go for the tactical look, or like going for that clean house in Modern Warfare, in the 2019 version obviously, then the Singapore SOF would look good. And holster is black, don't need to explain too much on that one. For weapon wise, the reason why I said to use a closed mag is because you're using the MP5, and there is a few weapons you can use as the SAS. I did do a little bit of research on the weapons they use. And you can use the G36. They do use the G36. I think it's G36K, I think, that they use. I don't remember. But you can use the G36. And I think that's kind of it. They do use a C8, which is, I think it's like a AR-15 system, so you can use get away with it with an M4, but you could use also a shotgun if you're like going to go for like that Call of Duty type thing. So a Benelli M4 would do well too. And yeah, let's get on with the mods. So starting with the stock, I started with the tractable stock because I think it's cosmetic wise, it works well with the tactical type look instead of like the fixed stock, and also because you want to like waiting if you're like trying to pair drop off of stuff, I think it'll look cool to have it with the retractable. Ooh, okay, sorry about that. I'm probably going to edit that out because I had to go do some stuff. Family came home, needed help with groceries, and all that good jazz. So let's get right back to it. So last time I said that. Okay, I'm just gonna remember what I said last time. Oh yeah. Reason why I'm using the red dot is mainly for cosmetic wise, but I would highly recommend, like I said, ACOG with the MP5, or basically any gun you can try to get it on. Even though the MP5 does have a pretty high recoil, and the MP5 is mostly better suited for close quarters combat, this thing can still work if you want to like use it for a long range, but red dot is just for cosmetic wise. It's just the reason why I'm using it. Mag wise, since we're going for a role playing type look, I'm sticking to the 30 rounds. No tracer. Barrel, I don't really want to use the longer barrel because since we're going for like a cool tactical type look, so a short barrel would work. And for the grip, and the reason why I'm using the angle grip because it's not as bad as the stubby, and also because for cosmetic wise it looks cool with the MP5, and I think the vertical grip is a little too much on it. It looks a little big for it, is what I'm saying. So, which is why I'm using the angle grip. For the rail, I'm using the laser IR because the laser IR, I think if you want to go for like the all black type look, you can definitely go for the red. But I like the IR just because it's because like only you can see it. It's when you use NVGs. But if you want to be able to use both during both day and night, then you can go with the red, visible one. But I recommend the IR if you're trying to go for like the stealthy type look. And for this one, I'm using the special suppressor for it instead of the Chimera 300 because I think this is only exclusive towards the I think this one's exclusive towards the MP5. So I think you should anything that's exclusive to a certain weapon, you should definitely use it. So that covers the primary. Onto the secondary. We got the Glock. It's basically the same setup, except the only difference is added an Osprey 45 because you can, cosmetic wise, you can make it look cool with the Gemtech Viper, but like I said, it obscures your vision slightly. The Osprey 45, it doesn't do that, and it does look a lot cooler than the Osprey 45, I would say. In my own opinion, it's subjective, but in my own opinion, I think the Osprey 45 looks cool. So that covers it for the loadouts for this video. Well, I might do more depending on how this video does, or if I feel like doing another one. Like I said, you should really only be role playing with these type of video. This is for role playing, not for the multiplayer type stuff. As you know, I think Blackhawk Rescue Mission is technically best designed for co-op playing. So yeah, and I recommend that if you are gonna roleplay, that you at least make some bang for your buck, because these loadouts are quite expensive. Just uniform, vest, helmet, and even the guns. The guns are the most expensive and important one, because you can make your clear to look cool, but you can't get it as good with the guns. And also make sure you get some stars too, because levels does matter if you're gonna roleplay. I do make a rule that when I do role play is that if I'm trying to do a role play, I think about what I'm trying to do and like what's the requirements needed, because there are some people who require certain things for your character that you must wear. If you don't, they won't let you in. If you keep bothering them, they're gonna get mad, they won't like it, and etc, etc. So yeah, that's kind of it. I'll give you one last look. Here's the Bear 103-22, USec M4, G Glock 22, the Russian Scout, AK-74U, Makarov, SAS CQB, MP5, Glock 22. So that's what I have for you guys today, and I hope you guys enjoy this video. I see you guys next time. Bye.